No pressure there. No pressure there. You comfortable now. You comfortable.
Of course, of course.
Deal. But I won't take a lot of your time, Denny. I really appreciate you giving me this. I got to ask you first. There's so much I want to ask you. I only got a short amount of time, so I'll get to it real quick. Take me back. Obviously, it's the first race in the round of four. I mean, in the championship round of eight, mixing it all together. And you get that win. It was so important. A, it gets you in the championship four, but obviously getting to 60, you're tied with Kevin Harvick in the top 10. Not too many drivers can say they got 60 wins. Just talk about both of those aspects.
Yeah, it's just incredible that truthfully that we've been able to accomplish it. I never would have imagined it in a million years. I didn't think I'd make it to the Cup Series, much less have the opportunity to win all those races. But yeah, it was a meaningful race and just so many different reasons for me. And obviously, getting into the top 10, you're winning in the playoffs. It now punches your ticket to the next round, which the next round now is the winner take all finale in Phoenix. And so it just was it made me the winningest driver in Toyota history. So it just, there were a lot of factors that really played into, why that win was probably the most significant in my career.
And obviously, you got emotional with your dad. If you could talk about his health and how's he doing.
Yeah, just fighting it. Obviously, he's a little bit older now and, got some health issues. And so certainly just thinking of him, and certainly I'm really happy that he was able to see 60.
And again, I'm saying all my thoughts and prayers to your dad. Hope he gets well there. Just want you to know that, sir.
Mhm.
Uh, and then I'm trying to remember, have you ever been in the position where you've clinched this early? I'm trying to recall. I don't think you have, unless, correct me if I'm wrong. I can't recall a time where you've won the first round of eight race, so you're good to go to the championship four. I can't recall that.
Yeah, I don't think so. So I think this is a first. And certainly anytime you can win the first race of any round, it gives you 2 weeks off to do as you see fit. And for us, it's going to be focusing on Phoenix all the way. So I'm excited about that part of it for sure, and feel as though that, I think we're going to have hopefully a leg up on the competition.
And the interesting thing is about the race, at Las Vegas, so many things had to go right for you during that race. I mean, you had that before your last pit stop, you had a pretty tough pit stop there. But then, you had accidents and things. So the dominoes had to fall. And obviously, with your crew chief and the strategy, you guys really rocked the scene, put it on the four tires versus some drivers taking two. So really, everything set up so well for you to get the victory.
It really did, and I think there was a couple key moments. One was when I shot the middle of Alex Bowman and Tyler Reddick. There was one where there was that accident on the restart that moved me up from ninth in the line to sixth on the next restart. There was definitely a chain of events that helped it. And then, really after that we went green, I still was fifth or sixth with about 10 laps to go, and we made it happen from that point on.
I know it's kind of early to even ask this question, and maybe this is just my perspective on it. I feel like, and you've been doing this for a long time. You're one of the vets. It seems like to me this year just seems like to be your best year. Would you say it ranks up there pretty high? But this year you just really won when you've had to win, and you've had so much success this year. I mean, obviously I remember you. We interviewed you in Martinsville when you won there. You haven't won there in a while. It just seems like this seems to be your best year. Would you say that? And or maybe I'm off on that a little.
No, it is. I mean, I've had some great opportunities in my career, and certainly feel as though, this is as good as one we've had. We still, have not been great at Phoenix, and this all comes down to one race, one track. If this race is at Kansas or, any other mile and a half, 2 mile track, I say, yeah, I'm absolutely ready to go, and we got a huge advantage. We're going to win. But the fact is, it comes down to one type of track, and for us, it's a track that we need to get a little better on.
Hey, you mentioned something that's interesting. I mean, you have Talladega and Martinsville coming up, but obviously down the line, it's got to be Phoenix. So, what are you guys are doing to prepare for a track? You mentioned it's kind of a tough one for you, but what are you guys doing during these next couple of weeks to get that ready?
We still have to go out there and do our jobs these next 2 weeks, right? I mean, at Talladega, let's be honest, I'm not going to put any work into Talladega whatsoever. It's going to be a very circumstantial race where, I still think I can go out there and win, but I'm not going to put any time and resources of my brain power to study anything from Talladega. I feel like I've been there so many times. I know what I need there. Martinsville, I'll put a little bit of time in. It's a track want to run well at. Um, but it's all about spending time on the simulator and spending time looking at notes for me, going over Phoenix, figuring out exactly what I can do to be better.
And then, focusing on Martinsville, a couple Martinsville questions. Number one, obviously, this race is 500 laps versus 400. And it might not seem a lot, but it's still 100 more laps you have to race. So, and you've raced at 500 and 400 a lot of times, but just talk about just that aspect, that the fact that it's 100 more laps this race versus in the spring, we only raced 400 and you got the win there.
Yeah, it's just a little bit longer, That's a simple answer, but it's a long race anyway. But the stages, the way it kind of works out there, you really got to have a long run car, that means you're going past 50 laps on a set of tires. Well, what we've seen is these latest Goodyear short track tires, they wear out typically a little bit quicker. And so the challenge for Martinsville is lap traffic. Once you catch the back of the field, it is extremely hard to get around them. And so it's doing everything you can to save. And that's typically been the remedy for success for me.
This might sound like a dumb question. Again, you've had a lot of success at Martinsville. Why do you feel you're so good at Martinsville? Because you've won 6 of those bad boys. You got 6 Grand Final clocks. Why are you so good at Martinsville?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I think that it's a lot of the heritage in which I grew up on and that is half mile, you know, short tracks. There's tons of them in the Virginia, North Carolina area. I've raced in all of them. Even before I made it to the Cup Series, I raced at Martinsville and their big race that they have every September. So I've got so much track time there that I think that's really benefited me.
Another thing is you're a new father. So how has that been going on since, you have another one into the Hamlin household?
Yeah, he's been just absolutely great. Just sleeping all the time, just smiling all the time. I don't know. This one I was very nervous. I've been through two kids already in this phase, but this one by far takes the cake on the easiest.
And then finally, again, you mentioned what makes Martinsville so special and what it means, but it's still, I know you said you're not really going to put a lot into Talladega. I know you still want to win Talladega if you can,
Mhm.
but it's not like that's the priority. And then you said, you're going to amp it a little bit more for Martinsville. But when it all comes down to it, I'm sure you still want that grandfather clock. I mean, because then that would give you 7, and that would move you up the chain in that regard too. So, I mean, I'm sure Martinsville still,
Yeah.
every driver I talk to say, hey, I want to win that grandfather. I want to win Martinsville. It's a special thing. And I'm sure you're in that boat too, even though okay, the priority is Phoenix, but still it's Martinsville, right?
Absolutely. And the good news is for us is we shouldn't have to put a ton of work into Martinsville. The tire is the same, the car is the same as what we had in the spring. Obviously, we dominated that race in the spring, leading over 200 laps. So we have a really good baseline anyway. So we're going to be competitive, I think, no matter what. And so absolutely, that's my home state crowd. I want to go do well.
Finally, what was it weird to get cheers? Because I was expecting you to say I beat your favorite driver, but obviously that didn't come out. But with winning again in Vegas, were you surprised to get some of the cheers? Not something
I
you
was. I was. I absolutely was very, very surprised to I mean, I'm sure there were boos, but I couldn't hear them. It was all cheers, and I couldn't believe it. I really appreciated the crowd kind of giving me that moment. I think they knew that win was special to me.
But Danny, I appreciate your time, sir. I mean, again, you're awesome, always to talk to, and good luck the rest of the way, and good luck in Phoenix and everything else. And we'll see you in Martinsville.
All right, appreciate you. Thank you.